Let's talk about the darling of the international arms market, Lockheed Martin's F-35. It is stealthy, supersonic, capable of dogfighting and striking on-ground targets. F-35 is arguably the most sophisticated US weapon and the most sought-after jets. But it seems that this last bit is changing now. This month, nation after nation has voiced concerns about the F-35. Portugal wants to cancel its plans to purchase the fighter. Canada says that it will reconsider buying the plane, and so will Germany. Why is this happening? What does this mean for America's most expensive defense program? And what alternatives do countries have? Here's a report.
This is the F-35, a state-of-the-art fighter jet. Reportedly, the world's only advanced long-range stealth fighter. It's produced by Lockheed Martin, and it is America's most popular warplane. To give you an idea, about 18 years since the jet took its first flight, more than 1,000 F-35s are in operation in 20 countries. This includes the US, of course, which operates the jet, as well as 19 allied nations, including members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, like the UK, Italy, and Canada, as well as some non-NATO members, such as Japan. To put it simply, for years now, the F-35 has been the hot ticket item in the international arms market. That is, until now. There is growing unease over the stealth fighter. This month, one nation after another that had signed up for the F-35 has voiced concerns. Portugal wants to cancel plans to buy the plane. Canada says that it will reconsider the purchase. Germany is also reconsidering the jet deal. Why is this happening? Here's a clue. These qualms have little to do with the plane itself. Nothing has changed about its performance. This increasing international unease is about trust issues. Again, not with the plane, but with its commander-in-chief, US President Donald Trump. In recent weeks, Trump has unleashed economic and geopolitical uncertainty. He has threatened to withdraw military support to European members of NATO. He has suggested that he might not adhere to the Mutual Defense Pact of the Transatlantic Alliance. He has threatened to annex Greenland and Canada. He has imposed bruising tariffs. So now, US allies are openly expressing their doubts about the stealth fighter. They have two major concerns. First, the so-called kill switch. You see, the F-35 stealth is not just a physical airframe. The jet has superior hardware and software. It has a whole suite of networked systems, kind of like a smartphone. The jet needs software patches and data to work effectively. The stealth technology makes it difficult for enemies to track the aircraft. But this does not mean that the plane is invisible. To survive in modern warfare, it needs to constantly track and assess enemy radars. It needs regular system updates. It needs to store all kinds of information as data files. And do you know who does all this? The US. Irrespective of who flies the plane, every nation that uses the F-35 is dependent on the US to keep its planes functioning properly. Meaning, there needs to be an assumed level of trust in America if allies want to keep flying the plane. But recently, the changing geopolitical landscape has shaken this said trust. There have been rumors that there is a kill switch which could abruptly immobilize the F-35. After several weeks of speculation, on March 18th, the Pentagon formally denied that it has the ability to remotely disable the fighter jets, but that has done little to quell fears. Plus, it's not the only concern. The second big question mark is the vulnerability of the F-35, its over-reliance on the US, and America's ability to process critical mission data. So if things go south, there is a big risk here. Especially considering that Donald Trump is thinking about a future where America's allies are maybe not allies anymore.
Certain allies will be selling them, perhaps toned-down versions. We like to tone them down about 10%, which probably makes sense because someday maybe they're not our allies, right?
So what options do these maybe not allies have? There are no direct alternatives to the F-35. But there are some limited options, like the European Eurofighter Typhoon or France's Rafale, but neither of these aircraft are stealth. And that is a major disadvantage. So it seems that American allies are stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.